Everybody else can see my screen?
No, I can't.
Okay. You can't?
I can't. Yeah. Can you see Bimo?
Yes, I can see.
Oh, okay, okay. Now I can see.
Now you can see it. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
Just let me know when your recording's really, or if you already are.
I'm already recording, yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll get started. Yeah, so aramarkrefreshments.com. Before we just dive right in, portion, and it's assumed that the user's already basically has a relationship with Aramark. They have a service location. They've ordered products, be it via the phone or however they do it. There's a number of ways, but they already have a relationship, and now they've decided I want to be able to order products online because it's easier, that sort of thing. So you come to the registration page, straightforward stuff here. You enter your profile information, but you also have to enter your existing account information. So you have an invoice.
Sorry, just a sec.
Say again?
Sorry, is everybody else able to see next screen? Because I'm not able to see it.
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh,
You can see it?
Fine for me.
no. Can you stop sharing and start sharing again?
Sure. How about now? Nothing?
No.
Other guys?
Still
I
good
think
for
it just
me.
went away.
Okay.
That's okay. As long
Good
as
for
every,
me.
but I'm not
Okay,
sure
well,
if since I'm
You're up to
recording.
speed, really.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking since I'm recording whether it is recording anything or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It says it's being recorded on my end.
Yeah.
Okay, then
Hopefully
that's
it's
good.
the
No,
I don't
that's
know.
good.
We'll,
Then.
we'll cross our fingers, and if not, it's pretty easy to do this again if needed. So yeah, so again, we're back on the registration page. You have to enter your account information, so you already have an invoice or receipt, basically, and you just have to enter your zip code and customer number, and that customer number relates to an existing service location within Aramark. So I won't register just yet because we already have a user. So I'm on staging right now, so I'm not really going to mess anything up. Not that it's easy to do that anyways. So I'll log in, Mark Goldstein. I usually hijack his account. He's a tech guy at Aramark. So yeah, so when you log in, a user can, at first you obviously just have one service location, but there's potential for you to have any number of service locations. So again, for example, maybe you work in a big building that has 5 kitchens on various floors. Each of those separate kitchens or coffee service areas would represent a different service location which you can order for. So if you're that type of user where you have multiple service locations, your landing page when you get to the site is this just set of service locations. Just gives you a quick overview of the address, so you know which one specifically you're going to be ordering for. It gives you some basic information about when you ordered last. All pretty straightforward stuff. So from here, Mark's got a whole bunch of service locations. From here, you can just pick one and say order for this location. And you're brought to sort of the main location overview, or Aramark calls it their dashboard page. So again, just reiterates your service location information here at the top. Has some recommendations here. These are provided by Baynote, so that's an external web service we use to just call for product recommendations. Some advertisements here, and that's basically just a pretty straightforward dashboard page. The header up top here, straightforward stuff. Sign out. You can edit your profile. Just quickly jump through these. Nothing super special here, and I'll make note of any areas that are really pertinent to our upcoming project here. So we'll just go back to the dashboard page, and from here you can basically start to browse products as you would on any sort of site, and it's pretty straightforward. We have all these categories up top here. The interesting thing is products and pricing both are unique to a given service location. So if I order for this Las Vegas drive or Las Vegas, Nevada location, I see this set of categories, and I see this particular pricing structure for Starbucks and Coke. But I may switch to another service location here, and I probably should have counted, but you may only see available for a particular service location there. And that's done. Hybris receives a feed every morning that updates the products and pricing for each service location. So if you happen to be testing and you're logging in and seeing, oh, why is this guy not seeing what this other service location is? That's probably how it's supposed to be. So we'll just quick go to product landing page. And again, this is all straightforward sort of navigation here. Staging's a little slow, sorry.
No worries.
So we get to the product landing page. We have the coffee, tea, cocoa category. Again, another set of product recommendations at the top here. Faceted navigation on the left, which is managed by Endeca. Some advertisements here, and then just your standard sort of product tiles where you can drill down into a product details page. So there's really not a whole lot sort of crazy functionality to this site. It's all straightforward so far.
Yeah.
Again, product recommendations, product information, add it to your cart, that sort of thing. So now we're sort of getting into some of the stuff that will be pertinent to this project. They have this notion of quick shop tools. So these are basically just they have four functions that they've set up to essentially help a customer shop a little more easily. So there's the frequently purchased, the shopping list page, order history, and repeat last delivery. So I guess starting from the top, frequently purchased, and hopefully I have some products here. I may not. Okay, good. So I can navigate to the frequently purchased, and this is basically pulls from a set of invoices, stuff that you buy most frequently, and so this just allows you to say, oh, okay, yeah, I get the same stuff all the time, so I'm just going to select all of them, and you can add them to your cart from there. Change quantity, all that sort of thing. You can add them individually if you don't, maybe you only want to order these couple things because you already have a whole lot of Altera, Costa Rica, whatever. So, yeah, let's see here. Moving on to the shopping lists. If we have a shopping list, and I don't, but we can quick create one. So shopping list, it's sort of self-explanatory. Sweetie, I know you love this name, or if you probably can't see it, test shopping list. So I've created a new shopping list. And from now on, any point you can see now? Okay, great.
No, I can't
Anytime
see.
now that I'm navigating around, you can't?
Looking at the
Okay,
wall.
gotcha. Well, holding on.
Doing my own stuff.
We'll
So
get to
please,
that.
yeah,
Sure.
poke me if you need my attention.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I was just noting that I named my shopping cart test. I know you like that.
Yeah, test. I know every developer, for some reason, whenever they have to create test data, the first thing that they do is test. They never go and do, use real names, everything like test 1, test 2, test 3.
We're a very creative bunch.
The-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
Anyways.
guilty of that.
Yeah, I know, Moni's.
Yeah, so I created that shopping list, and now you see here when I'm on the product details page, I have the ability to add a product to a shopping list, and you can add it there, and then I can go view it in my shopping list. So that's just another way of sort of grouping products. Maybe it's, I have a set of items that I don't necessarily purchase frequently, but it's a, yearly type thing I do for the office, that sort of thing. However, a user may want to use this functionality. And then it basically operates the same as the frequently purchased, where you can just select, change quantity, and then add them to your cart. Um, so I guess I'll stop for any questions if anybody has them. Okay, moving forward then. On the order history page. So this one might be a little confusing at first, and Aramark has sort of noted that, and they're not even sure if people actually use this. So we have this notion of invoices and online orders. Online orders essentially being any order a customer has placed through aramarkrefreshments.com is going to show up in this section. Unfortunately, I don't have any orders here, but it would basically just show up. You see the line items, all that sort of things, fairly straightforward. And then invoices represents, we get a feed every day of the invoices, and that's all of the orders that have been shipped essentially to that particular service location. So like I was stating before, a customer doesn't necessarily have to order through here. They can call up their customer service rep, place an order, maybe the route driver. While they're servicing the location, they can say, hey, I need an extra box of this, and that's going to go on the order, and that'll get represented in the invoices section, but obviously that's not sort of clearly delineated here. So there's some potential change, but I think that's out of scope for what we're currently looking at. We'll get back to that though. So, and then there's just this notion of repeat last delivery. So I don't have a most recent delivery here. That would basically just pull up my last invoice essentially, and you can add those products to the cart as you would any of these other quick shop tools. So that really covers those things, and I'll come back to them in a minute and speak a little more in terms of how they relate to what we're going to be doing with the coming project. So let me try to think if I missed anything up here. Customer service, that's just nothing special there. I think it just gives you, contact us information. Up here we have a drop down for, this is your whole list of service locations, or you can go back to that sort of main service location list page. So that's just for navigating between service locations. But just to give you a rough idea, only about 80 to 90% of aramarkrefreshments.com users actually have, or they only have one service location. So there's only 10 to 20% who would actually have multiple. So it's not a sort of wide-ranging functionality. So we'll just go into the cart here. All pretty straightforward. We show some more recommendations. You can navigate as you'd expect. Shop again, empty your cart, update quantity if you need, add more products, that sort of thing. And then obviously we can check out. There's an intermediate step, so you're not check out. Obviously doesn't mean submit the order quite yet, so we sort of try and call that out here, and we'll just reiterate billing information, where it's being delivered to, and then you can finally submit the order. So that's really an overview of the existing functionality. Feel free to stop me if you have any questions, but there's really nothing crazy. Again, it's all pretty straightforward. Shopping site, again, the main sort of difference here is the interesting service location setup, where the products and pricing is going to be totally different depending on who you log in as. So yeah, let's jump back to the quick shop tools, and we can sort of.
So Nick, did you explain how pricing is per service location, or that's what you're saying just now?
That's what I was just sort of reiterating. I explained it up front. Is anybody confused about that? You can get into some more details, I guess, as far as how it's set up.
And we would need to understand this very clearly, because price override, that would not impact you so much, Moni, because it's out of scope from testing perspective. But for Tristan and Bimal, since you guys are actually implementing that web service, as we already went over it, it is very important to know that the prices for product is not universal. It is actually related to service location. So if somebody, and I know that you in the web service that you are actually creating creating, that you have service location as one of the input parameters.
Yes.
So we just have to make sure that we are updating the right price for the right service location for that product.
Yes.
Right.
Nick, can you explain on this?
Yeah, so as far as Hybris is concerned, an individual product, it just has multiple price rows, and maybe it makes sense to jump into the HMC at this point. I think I have to.
And, I'm sure Nick would have gone over it. Sorry, I was not listening very keenly on it. That underneath one market center, there are multiple service locations. So there will be a market center, say for example for New York, and then that market center will cater to all New York service locations, meaning all kitchens that are in New York or nearby New York, right? So that is the hierarchy when it comes to, well, locations, all the warehouse, I would say. And so the prices are essentially pertaining to that service location. So you're talking about market center plus the service location. Is that clear, or do you?
No. I'm confused. So is the pricing depending on the service location or depending on the market center?
I think both,
It's
right?
specific to the service location.
Yeah.
It's sort of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to jump into. Makes more sense to get into the HMC here. We can take a quick look. And I can send some samples of the feeds they receive. So just every morning we get an Impex again that updates this. That'll probably make it clear. So I don't have one offhand. But, oops. Just bear with me for a second here.
We have two QA environments.
Two QA servers essentially, but it just totally mimics the production site. So the way production is set up, there's two separate servers. One actually runs two instances of Hybris. So prod 1, that first instance is basically dedicated to running cron jobs, and the other two obviously just provide failover.
Got it.
Just totally redundant. So yeah, obviously you guys are probably familiar here with the administration console, so we'll just go into the HMC. And let's take a look at, what do I want to look at? Marketing. I just need to go in order from the product. No, we need a catalog, sorry. Oh, sorry, product stuff. So yeah, we'll just click on any product here, and this will probably, hopefully, alleviate some of these questions. Of course, this one doesn't have pricing. And again, hold on, let me see here. Yeah, so this probably makes the most sense. So a product here has a tab for service locations associated with it, as well as market center user groups. And I'm unfortunately not finding an example that has a set of them, but you can basically have a set of any number of service locations, and the details of how, obviously when you're searching for a product, you base the query off of, okay, does it have this service location and or market center associated with it, the service location being sort of the ultimate, I guess, a record for whether or not that product can be viewed. Sorry, I wasn't really prepared for giving you guys a good example of this. But does that make a little more sense? So it's really based on a feed we receive daily from them, which essentially associates a given product to it. It may have a set of service locations. It may have a set of market center user groups. But if it has both, obviously the service location is sort of going to be the overriding factor there.
Okay.
And then
the service locations is pretty straightforward, but I think we need a bit more understanding on the market center user group.
the market center user group, sure. So
Yes.
that's the way it's represented in Hybris. This is a little confusing how it's set up, certainly. So we'll go to the user groups here. So any market center user group is just denoted by sort of this their naming structure. So it's going to start with an MC underscore. So we'll search for any of these here. So these all represent obviously market center user groups. And again, it gets slightly confusing, and honestly, Mark from Aramark is sort of the best record of knowledge for this portion. You can see there's about 300,000, and this is how their pricing structure is set up.
Wow. Okay.
So to give you an idea of what the naming structure is, so MC stands for Market Center underscore 1. So that's Market Center 1. Call that Philadelphia. And then the W denotes a particular warehouse within that market center. And then you have a further annotation of NAT, which stands for national account, and that's just used to sort of further granulate their pricing structure. What we can go ahead and take a look at and see if there's, just jump into one of these. So, I thought we had service locations. Probably makes sense to check out a service location. And similarly, service locations are currently represented as user groups as well, which is slightly confusing, but there's also a service location type. So the service location user group is specifically to support the pricing structure that we showed before. We'll go into one of these, and this, of course, is basically a member of a market center, right? I'm trying to think what else.
Is the customer's prices tab relevant? There's a customer prices tab there. Is that
Say
relevant?
again? Oh, this customer
There's
prices
a customer
group.
prices tab.
Yeah, let's see.
Is that relevant?
May or may not be. Let's see here. Of course, it's probably just crashing now. Okay, now we're frozen here. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't really prepared to give you guys a full overview on this stuff. Let me see if I can. Just jump back in here. Of course, every example I try to find isn't really, so obviously not all products are necessarily associated with a given service location, and those just won't show up. And of course, everyone I'm trying to show you is that case. And I may have actually brought this whole node down. Let's try QA2. So let's see, where were we? I guess let me again try to find, I'm trying to think.
The user group, customer prices.
You want to go back to, oh yeah, the customer prices. I'm afraid that's just going to cause it to crash again. It's the only thing.
Okay.
Again, what might make sense, I think the easiest way to see it, which I can get for you guys, is one of those impexes, which clearly shows the hierarchy of prices. But essentially, you'd go into a product, if I was going to show you, and it would have a set of market center user groups listed under it. I guess I'm not. And then it will also have, individual or separate price rows that would be associated with a given service location. Yeah, and so that's, we're not getting anywhere here. So again, the setup is unfortunately a little confusing, which is why I haven't really clicked on customer prices and that sort of thing. So that's something to keep in mind. Now we may be totally fried here. But yeah. Okay.
Well, let's go back to product pricing.
Yeah, I'm going to need to, I guess maybe we can jump on, everything's frozen now. Let's see here, let's jump on Rod. All right, so now we're actually in production here. Let's see if we can, hopefully some of these are more relevant to what we're looking at. And of course, maybe this isn't there I'm looking at. Yeah, sorry, I'm just not finding a good example for you guys. Maybe it makes sense for us to sort of come back to this, and I can get a better better example of what we're trying to look at. Yeah, I'm just unfortunately, again, it's all really sort of complicated, and there's not a great way of. This is sort of how Mark was showing us before too, and just happened to land on a product that's. I'm just trying to see if maybe it's under another tab here. Okay, so here's one. Has a set of service locations associated with it, market center user groups. But I guess, I don't know if you have sort of specific questions. I know I'm kind of just going off on a tangent here. Are you looking for like the specific relationship, or I guess where exactly is this?
Okay, because we are just trying to understand what is the relationship between the service location and the pricing, and now this market center user group is something new to me, and it seems like it would impact the way how we update the prices. Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. So again, let me get you a copy of one of those impexes, and if we need to do another quick round of this, I guess we can. But yeah, unfortunately now I'm just not finding a good example, and I guess I'm not being clear enough on how that's working. So yeah, is Wheelie, you still here?
Yeah.
Hi.
I think unfortunately that's all I'm sort of prepared to get at today. I'm not finding a good example. You remember we went through before, we were able to find products that had multiple price rows and that sort of thing. I'm just not landing on a good example.
Okay. Maybe did you send me? I think that's something that you can find offline and then send it to them. You don't
Yeah,
have
I'm
to
just
like
getting a little
spend
flustered
time
trying to.
looking at it. That's
Yeah,
fine. That's okay.
cool.
All right. Anything? So, in terms of price override, Tristan and Bimal, are you guys clear on what exactly you will need to implement?
No, it seems getting more complicated with the involvement of market center user groups. So we need to have a better idea on how would this impact the update.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're talking about, is trying to get them a better,
Yes.
clearer view. So
Okay, so
we're
let's
on
do
the
this.
same page at least.
Well, hold on. I think let's do this. Anyways, it's like 9 p.m. your time, right? 9:30 p.m. your time.
Yes. Yes.
You're not going to do any development right now, and we also have
Yes.
a stand-up schedule in another 1.5 hours. So why don't we take that time? So we will give Nick 1.5 hours to try and find some products that have multiple price rows, and we can just give you that product when we have our stand-up. That way you will know that
Yes.
before
Yes.
tomorrow
That'll be
morning,
great.
and we can go over it in tomorrow,
Yep.
a call sometime later, right? Um,
Of course. Of course. Sure.
yeah. Okay. And Nick, we can also check with Alan or Jesse if they know any products that have multiple price rows on QA.
Yeah, no, that's just my fault. I mean, I just wasn't prepared to get
That's
that
okay.
in depth.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's,
absolutely
yeah.
fine. It's very hard to find such products like,
Yeah, and again,
without
you guys
any,
are sort of
and there's
sort
no
of getting
better way to
into,
search it, so that's another problem.
yeah. You guys are getting a taste of sort of how confusing their pricing structure is set up. So yeah, but okay.
Okay. Okay. So are we ending this session, or are you going to move on to the next topic other than the prices?
That's essentially all I really had, unless you have any other questions. That was basically an overview of the site, the whole thing.
The web store are pretty straightforward, but not the HMC part on the pricing.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was the idea today, was just to sort of give you an update of the site. But yeah, how everything's set up is definitely a bit confusing for sure.
Hey, Nick,
Yes.
when you guys begin, once you guys start to have the UI set up with the Salesforce integration, will you be conducting a second demo?
Yeah,
Likely.
so the plan, Moni, is for after every sprint we will have demos, and we will start like I will add you to stand up when you tell me, like, how much time you'll need for testing, how much time you need for test scripts. As you know, right, we have only 50 man days for the whole project. So so based on that, I want to make sure that we are using your time effectively, right?
Sure.
And at the end of every sprint, we will have our demos for all the functionality that we have worked on for that sprint. So the next sprint, we just started with our first sprint, because until now, until like last week Friday, we were still going back and forth on BRD items, adding more requirements and deleting few requirements. So the scope was still being discussed, and last Friday afternoon is when we actually locked scope for this project, trust me. And so now we just started working on the design from Monday of this week. So our first sprint is going to be 2 weeks long, and then there will be a demo on March 7th. And Nick and I are still actually we prepared, like, the team prepared the design and submitted the draft version yesterday, and we are going to go over the draft design this morning with aramark IT guys, right? And based on that, whatever design items we finalize, we will put some of the requirements in this sprint. We already have some good understanding on what will be in this sprint, the requirements that will be in this sprint, but we have not finalized the entire sprint yet.
Okay. Because based on this morning's demo, I can definitely, number one, give you an estimate on how long it'll take to, prepare test cases, and number two, I think this is definitely sufficient, at least for capturing existing functionality in test cases.
Right, perfect. So, I mean, based on, like, you can add 1+1, like, based on this morning's demo plus yesterday's discussion on BRD, I think
Yes.
you can go back and see, how much, and plus don't forget the load testing part. So, based
Yes.
on that, you can let me know, like, how much time you'll take.
Yes, absolutely. My one question was, do we have any user story documentation to accompany either existing functionality or the new Salesforce integration stuff?
For existing functionality, I think, Nick, there is some Sapient documentation, right?
Yeah, everything's currently up on Confluence, so anything that's not there, we don't.
Yeah,
have
if you guys,
basically.
if somebody could give me access to Confluence, to the Confluence
Of
page.
course. Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't
that'd be
have
awesome.
that already?
yeah.
I haven't tried.
Okay.
So maybe I'll give it a shot, and if I can't get in, I'll send you guys an email.
Okay, but we'll ping you the link.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
And Nick, since we have a document on Confluence, can you please point us to the Confluence page that explaining the pricing structure?
If it's there, I will.
you're too ambitious, Tristan.
No, because you mentioned everything is properly documented in Confluence. So
Well, everything that is documented is on Confluence.
is
but
documented.
If it's not documented, obviously, yeah.
Okay.
It's like store. When you go to a store and you ask, oh, do you have this in size blah? And they were like, oh, whatever is there is there.
Yeah.
That's what you get. What's on the rack?
Yeah.
Okay, any other
so-
questions?
No, not for now.
Nope, I'm good.
Tristan, Bimal, are you guys are going to participate in today's daily call, right?
Yes, I will.
Okay, cool. Moni, then by, I guess, end of the day today, let me know what your estimate is based on for testing, based on what you know so far.
Yes. Oh, and one thing that'll make that easier is could I get access to this, either the staging or QA environments for the existing functionality?
Yeah. So if you I just pinged you a link. So try that. If you have the access, I think you should already have access. If you have that have the access, I think Nick, please direct Moni to a page which has all those links.
Yeah, so while we're here, once you get there, it's basically operations, you go to aramark, and then everything pertinent to getting on staging, that sort of thing, is in this
perfect.
aramark login section. So that gives you an overview of VPN, which you won't actually need to access the staging environment. So that's
Okay, great.
That's fine. And then there's some test users and stuff down here. I
Perfect.
just